Picture this. You and your best friend are sitting next to each other, both scrolling through Instagram. You're seeing cat videos, cooking tutorials, and indie music recommendations. They are getting fitness content, cryptocurrency news, and true crime documentaries. Same platform, same moment in time, but completely different digital universes. So how does Instagram know you better than your childhood best friend? And how does YouTube somehow predict that you are in the mood for obscure 90s music at 2 a.m.? And why does Amazon suggest products you didn't even know you wanted? Answer lies in something invisible, yet omnipresent: algorithms. These digital puppet masters are quietly orchestrating every click, scroll, and purchase you made. They are not just showing you content, they are literally shaping your reality, one recommendation at a time. In this video, I'm going to pull back the curtains on how these algorithms really work, why they have so much power over what you see, and most importantly, how you can take back control, because once you understand the game, you can start playing it instead of being played by it. Let's start with the basics. An algorithm is essentially a recipe, but instead of making cookies, it's making decisions about what content to serve you. Think of it as an incredibly fast, incredibly obsessed chef who's trying to figure out exactly what digital meal will keep you at the table the longest. Just like a recipe has ingredients and steps, an algorithm has inputs and processes. The ingredients are your data. Every click, pause, share, and scroll you make. The steps are mathematical rules that process this data to predict what you will want to see next. But here's where it gets fascinating. Unlike your grandmother's cookie recipe that stays the same for decades, these algorithmic recipes are constantly rewriting themselves. They are learning from millions of users simultaneously, updating their cookie instructions thousands of times per day. Imagine if your oven could watch you eat and automatically adjust the temperature and timing for the next batch based on your facial expressions. That's essentially what's happening with algorithms. They are observing your digital behavior and constantly optimizing to keep you engaged. The basic structure is deceivably simple. Collect data about you, process it through mathematical models, and output a prediction about what you like. Then measure whether they got it right. The magic really happens in the processing step, where machine learning transforms your digital breadcrumbs into incredibly accurate predictions. By the way, if you're still watching, I just want to say, this video took a ton of research to make accessible and engaging. A like or comment really helps the channel grow, and it tells me that you're finding this valuable. Now, let's dive into just how deep this rabbit hole goes. Let's follow a typical day in your digital life. You wake up and check your phone. Your alarm app used an algorithm to optimize your sleep cycle. You open Instagram, algorithm creates your feed. You search for breakfast recipe. Google algorithms ranks billions of web pages in milliseconds. You put on Spotify. Algorithms choose your Discover Weekly playlist. Even something as simple as Googling best pizza near me isn't neutral. Google's algorithm considers your location, search history, time of day, device type, and hundreds of other factors. Two people searching the exact same phrase will get different results because the algorithm is personalizing the entire internet for each user. Social media platforms are algorithm powerhouses. Facebook's newsfeed algorithm processes over 100,000 signals to decide what appears in your feed. TikTok's algorithm is so sophisticated, it can predict your interests before you even know them yourself. Twitter's algorithm decides which tweets to show you, which trends to highlight, and even which notifications to send. Shopping platforms have turned algorithms into art forms. Amazon's recommendations engine drives over 35% of their sales. Netflix's algorithm determines not just what you watch, but what shows they decide to produce. Spotify's algorithms don't just play music. They are essentially creating the soundtrack to millions of people's lives. But it goes deeper than entertainment and shopping. Algorithms influence job searches through LinkedIn, dating through apps like Tinder, news consumption through aggregators, and even financial decisions through robo-advisors. They are not just changing what you see, they are shaping major life decisions. The average person interacts with dozens of algorithms before breakfast. Most of these interactions are invisible. You don't see the algorithm working, you just see the results. It's like having a team of invisible assistants constantly anticipating your needs, but you never know what criteria they are using to make decisions on your behalf. So how do these algorithms actually decide what to show you? It all comes down to engagement signals, digital breadcrumbs that reveal your preferences more accurately than you might realize. Every action you take online is a vote. How long you spend looking at a post, or whether you scroll past it quickly or pause to read it. If you click a link, share content, or even just hover with your mouse over something, All of these micro interactions are data points that algorithms use to build a psychological profile of you. Here is where machine learning gets really clever. The algorithm doesn't just track what you like, it identifies patterns in your behavior that even you might not notice. Maybe you always watch cooking videos on Sunday afternoons, or you are more likely to click political content when you're stressed. The algorithm spots these patterns and uses them to predict your future behavior. But it's not just about you. Algorithms also use collaborative filtering. They look at people with similar interests and behaviors to predict what you might like. If users who share your taste in music also tend to like certain movies, the algorithm might recommend you those films, even if you never showed interest in them before. Every piece of content gets scored for relevance to each individual user. Think of it as a massive invisible auction, where different posts are competing for your attention. The algorithm weighs factors like recency, engagement from your network, your past behavior, and even the time of day to determine what gets the prime real estate at the top of your feed. Platforms are constantly running experiments on you. They will show slightly different versions of their interface to different users to see what generates more engagement. They test everything from button colors to notification timing to the order of content in your feed. You are essentially participating in thousands of psychology experiments without knowing it. The really sophisticated part is the feedback loop. Every time you interact with recommended content, you are training the algorithm to get better at predicting your preferences. It's like having a personal assistant who gets to know you better every day. But this assistant has access to data about millions of other people to help make predictions about you. Ultimately, most algorithms are optimizing for one thing: your attention. The longer you stay on a platform, the more ads you see, the more data they collect, and the more money they make. Your attention has become the most valuable currency in the digital economy, and algorithms are the sophisticated machines designed to capture and hold it. Now, let's talk about the darker side of this personalization. When algorithms get really good at showing you what you want to see, they can accidentally create what researchers call filter bubbles, digital echo chambers where you only encounter information that confirms your existing beliefs. Imagine you read one article about climate change. The algorithm notices your interest and starts showing you more environmental content. But if you engage with more dramatic emotional content, the algorithm might start feeding you increasingly extreme environmental content, gradually shifting your entire information diet without you realizing it. This becomes dangerous when misinformation enters the mix. False stories often generate more engagement than true ones because they are designed to provoke strong emotional reactions. Algorithms which are optimized for engagement can accidentally amplify conspiracy theories, health misinformation, and political extremism. Social media algorithms can also impact mental health in subtle ways. They tend to surface content that generates strong reactions, which often means conflict, outrage, or idealized lifestyle content that makes people feel inadequate. The algorithm doesn't care if the content makes you feel bad. It only cares if it keeps you scrolling. Bad actors have learned to game these systems. They create content specifically designed to trigger algorithmic amplification, using emotional language, controversial topics, and engagement baiting techniques. Perhaps most concerning is the impact on democratic processes. When algorithms determine what news and political information people see, they can influence elections, public opinions, and social movements. Different groups of people can end up living completely different information realities. There are economic implications too. Algorithms can be used to show different prices to different people, target vulnerable populations with predatory loans or scams, or create artificial scarcity through personalized marketing. The same technology that recommends your favorite music can also be used to manipulate your purchasing decisions. All of this requires massive data collection. Algorithms know things about you that you might not even know about yourself. They can predict your political leanings, mental health status, financial situation, and personal relationships based on your digital behavior. This level of surveillance would have been unimaginable just a few decades ago. The good news is that you are not powerless in this relationship. Once you understand how algorithms really work, you can start to influence them intentionally rather than being passively manipulated by them. First, explore your platform settings. Most social media platforms have options to see your algorithmic profile and adjust your preferences accordingly. Facebook, for example, lets you see why you're seeing specific ads and adjust your interests. And YouTube allows you to clear your watch history and turn off personalized recommendations. Instagram also has tools to hide content from accounts that might be harmful to your mental health. The next step is to diversify your engagement intentionally. If you want to see more varied content, actively seek out and engage with different types of posts, creator, and perspectives. Follow people who challenge your thinking, not just those who confirm your existing beliefs. The algorithm will notice and start showing you more diverse content. Practice mindful consumption. Pay attention to how different types of content make you feel. If you notice that political content makes you angry or anxious, you can actively choose to engage less with it. If comparison-heavy content makes you feel inadequate, you can train the algorithm to show you less of it by scrolling past it without engaging. Consider using alternative platforms or tools that prioritize different values. Some search engines don't track users or personalize results. Some social media platforms use chronological feeds instead of algorithmic ones. Browser extensions can help you avoid recommendation systems entirely. And don't forget to take regular breaks from algorithmic feeds. Use platforms built-in time management tools or set your own boundaries. Periodically, check in with yourself about whether your online experience is serving your goals and values, or if you're just being led along by engagement-optimized content. And remember that algorithms are designed to keep you online, but real fulfillment often comes from offline experiences and genuine human connections. Use technology intentionally to enhance your real-world relationships and goals, rather than as a substitute for them. And please stay informed about how these systems evolve. Algorithms are constantly changing, and new techniques for influence and manipulations are always being developed. The more you understand about how these systems work, the more you can navigate them consciously. If you're finding this information helpful, I would really appreciate a subscribe to the channel. I put a lot of effort into making complex tech topics accessible, and your support helped me continue creating content like this. So let's recap what we have learned. Algorithms are invisible recipe makers that shape your entire online experience. They are everywhere, from your morning Google search to your evening Netflix recommendations. They work by analyzing your behavior patterns and optimizing for engagement, which can both be incredibly useful or potentially very harmful. The benefits are undeniable. Algorithms help you discover new music, find relevant information quickly, and connect with like-minded people. But the risks are real too. Filter bubbles, misinformation amplification, mental health impacts, and the erosion of shared factual reality. The most important thing you can do is bring awareness to this relationship. Notice when you're being recommended content and ask yourself whether it's serving your goals or just capturing your attention. Experiment with your settings, diversify your consumption, and regularly evaluate whether your online experience is enhancing your life or detracting from it. The future doesn't have to be a choice between algorithmic manipulation and technological isolation. We can push for more transparent, user-controlled systems that enhance human flourishing rather than maximizing engagement. But that requires informed users who understand what they are dealing with. Now I'm curious about your experiences with algorithms. What's the strangest or most accurate thing an algorithm has ever recommended to you? Have you ever noticed your feeds changing over time? And what strategies do you use to maintain control over your online experience? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into how algorithms work and would like to see more of this content, leave a like and let me know in the comments what the next topic should be. See you next video, and thank you for watching.